I don't know who killed Stephen Smith, but I know his family has waited 2,258 days to get justice, and I'm determined to expose the truth and get answers for them. My name is Mandy Matney. This is the Murdaugh Murders Podcast. We're going to continue into the Stephen Smith investigation. A plucky investigator named Todd Proctor is speaking to a man who we are calling Kevin.
I've known Buster pretty much my whole life. Kind of out of character to who I knew, but I did also hear from the same source that he could possibly have been on some type of drugs. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. It's just strictly hearsay from all I know.
Did they happen to say where they were coming from? Because the story that I got was they were coming from like a softball tournament in either Baltimore or Orangeburg or something like that.
It's clear here that Proctor has talked to other people about this rumor, but it's really nowhere in the files. So where did Proctor get this information that these kids were headed from a softball game when they saw Stephen Smith?
What he heard was that they were coming from the Murdagh's house, which would be in Moselle, which you have to take 601 to get from Moselle to Hampton, which is where there will be any type of food, restaurants, things like that.
Yeah.
That's the only inclination or idea I would have as to why they were traveling that road.
Do you know, would it have been Buster driving?
I would have imagined so.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but to know Buster, usually he drove himself around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he was always the one. They were in his vehicles. He always had friends with him in his vehicles when he was driving around. Or that's how it was in school.
And it could be a whole gamut of people that, the other two people that could have been in the car with him.
Yes, sir. I have no idea. The only name that was given to me was the Murdaugh name, and of course everybody's kind of shy to say that out. You know what I mean? Because of, I won't say power, but of the name. It brings a certain standard when you say Murdaugh in Hampton County.
Yeah.
It was like that all through. That's why I feel like it's kind of, I don't want to say hush-hush, but nobody's really...
Well, and that's the thing, too, is that I've heard they have gone to certain people and told them you need to kind of keep your mouth closed. Have you heard anything like that?
Again, there's no record of Proctor talking to anyone else before Kevin about this rumor. So why wasn't this reported in the file?
When you're in a small town like that, everybody there knows. And like you said, it doesn't happen often. So Buster was on our radar long before you were,
Yes, sir.
The Murdaughs know that. They know that he's on our radar. So
how do the Murdaughs know that Buster is on their radar? What does that even mean? And why isn't that in the files? There's nothing about Buster being on their radar in the investigation files. It's very strange.
I mean, I talked to one of their guys yesterday and told him, I'm going to talk to Buster here soon, and they said, okay, that's fine.
Kevin and Proctor go back and forth about why this case is different. They talk about how small Hampton is and how rumors fly in a town like that, especially when the rumors involve the most prominent family in the county.
There's a reason why Hampton County Sheriff's Department is not handling that, and I'll leave it at that.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, the Murdaugh name and their ties in that community and that don't matter to me.
Yes, sir.
They don't bother me in the slightest.
Right.
All right. So what we've done is we've taken the investigation out of that, that reach.
Right.
And I don't care what you got.
Right.
I don't care, what your name is or how much money you got. It don't matter to me.
So we know why the Hampton County Sheriff's Department isn't handling this investigation. Typically, a lot of small-town law enforcement agencies give their big murder cases to the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, which is also known as SLED, because smaller police departments don't have the resources to investigate murder. So it makes sense as to why the Hampton County Sheriff's Department didn't get this case. But why didn't the Highway Patrol give the case to SLED? The Hampton County Guardian, the local newspaper, published a story by Matt Popovich about Stephen's death. Sandy Smith told The Guardian that she heard rumors about an older man stalking him, but she heard other rumors that she believes more. She reiterated several times her opinion that her son was killed for being gay by several local Hampton County youths from prestigious families, which she believes have sworn to protect their children no matter what heinous crime they committed. Sandy would not give the reporter names, but she said that she believed that Stephen would not have been walking on Sandy Run Road in the middle of the night. She didn't buy the hit-and-run theory at all. She said boys, some of whom were Stephen's classmates, were coming home from a baseball game that night, and they took him from his car. Quote, I hear the same story but from different people. Everybody knows what happened to my son, but nobody wants to tell me who is responsible, she said. 2 weeks later, on December 7th, 2015, the South Carolina Highway Patrol receives an anonymous tip, and I'm quoting directly from the case file here. Quote, Dontario Aiken, along with another black male and a white male, parentheses, Murdaugh, are the ones involved in death, end quote.
I'm calling you in reference to, I believe somebody come to you about the case we have there in Hampton County in reference to a hit and run or possible hit and run, somebody claiming that information. Is that correct?
That's correct. He said, Patrick, come over here to the house. He said, he told me that Sean Connolly was drunk and hit something. He said he went back the next day to see what it was he had hit, and he seen a lot of police out there. So he talked to one of the cops, and then he had left, and then he learned, I guess by media, that somebody had been killed in that same area. That's why the police were there.
Okay. Well, you think Patrick does he have a criminal background as far as that goes as well? I mean, the only reason why I'm asking.
He was charged with attempted murder, but I'm not exactly sure what the circumstances behind that was. I want to say that was one of them times that they may have charged him a higher charge to work their way down. Yes,
sir. I understand. I understand.
I mean, anytime I ever have any dealings with him, I mean, he's very respectful and stuff like that, but he's a little shady.
To recap, a few weeks after a newspaper story mentioned the possibility of a prominent Hampton County family being involved with Stephen's death, Randy Murdaugh supposedly told this man to call the Highway Patrol and tell them a story that suspiciously fits into the police narrative that is supported by no evidence, and that is that Stephen was hit by a car. Now, the Highway Patrol finds out that one of the kids who was supposedly involved in killing Stephen was recently charged with attempted murder.